All right, we are all set. Excellent. Okay, we will go ahead and get started. Okay, got some people joining already, so that's nice.
Okay.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. We'll go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining us today for our Westy Live Network Welcome. I'm Jamie Chavez, President and CEO of the Westminster Chamber of Commerce. And every Wednesday, we bring to you a live broadcast featuring one of our newest chamber members to introduce them and give them a chance to talk to you about their business or organization. If you're new to the broadcast, thank you for being here. Appreciate you joining us. I would encourage you to like and follow our Facebook page so that you'll get notifications for when we go live in the future. And if you're on YouTube, you can hit subscribe and watch previous broadcasts there as well. We also offer broadcasts on Monday, which are dedicated to city updates from our city councilors, our mayor, mayor pro tem, and other city leaders as well. So these broadcasts are a chance to hear all about what's going on down at City Hall. So we hope that you tune into those as well. And then we also reserve one Friday of every month for county updates featuring Jefferson County Commissioner Rachel Zenzinger. So stay tuned for those as well. As you watch the broadcast this morning, we encourage you to engage with us, drop comments, questions, just say hello in the chat, and we'll get to those during the interview. And now finally, a warm welcome to Frank Griggs, founder and CEO of Heroes Puppy for Life. How are you this morning?
I'm fine. Thank you, Jamie.
Great. We've got a couple people that have joined us. Good morning, Dave. Thanks for joining. Good morning, Emilio. Thanks for being here with us. Well, I'm excited for people to learn more about what you're doing. So why don't we just go ahead and kick off? You can tell us about yourself and your organization.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Heroes Puppy for Life began actually in the Arvada chapter of the Military Order of the Purple Heart. The goal of the chapter at that time was to place one service dog, trained PTSD service dog with a veteran. We found out very quickly that it costs upwards to $25,000 for a trained dog. So long story short, we started placing puppies with veterans living with post-traumatic stress disorder. So in 2016, we became a nonprofit known as Veterans Puppy for Life organization. And at that time, what we were doing is we would place a puppy with a veteran living with post-traumatic stress disorder, and they would go through 9 months of training with a retail trainer. That evolved to now where we have our own training program. Everything is geared towards helping these individuals with PTSD. In 2022, we changed the name to Heroes Puppy for Life because we wanted to include first responders, firefighters, police officers, and EMTs as well. It's estimated that 35% of firefighters have post-traumatic stress disorder. So what we do is we place a puppy with the individual when it's 8 weeks old, and both the puppy and the recipient go through our 9-month relationship bond training program that I created. I actually went back to college, got certified as an advanced canine trainer and as a canine behavior specialist because I wanted to make sure that we were doing this the right way. As I said, it started out to be just one puppy. We just graduated last week, our 104th puppy.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So
congratulations.
It has grown tremendously. But the training program is geared to help them be able to come back into society again. Individuals that live with PTSD generally isolate. They don't want anything to do with society. They don't like to talk to people. But we use the puppy as a means to help them desensitize and come back into the public environment again. And the reason why we place a puppy with them is because we want that bonding to take place, and they want it to be so tight that the puppy will automatically know as it grows when something is wrong with the individual. And then what we do at that point in time is we train them how to respond to those situations. It's a pretty unique program because we don't allow choke collars, pinch collars, shock collars, anything like that on our dogs. And that's for the safety and health of the puppy. Individuals living with PTSD, when they are triggering, don't know their own strength a lot of times. And 85% of the damage to a dog's throat and back actually comes from a leash on the collar. So we care as much as for the puppies as we do the individuals. But after about 4 months of training, you start seeing a change in the individual to where they are understanding what's going on and how that relationship is growing to the point to where they can feel more comfortable going out into public. And it's really kind of unique because there's a lot of things that we changed from actually retail training. There are certain words that we don't use, and there's certain words that we want them to use. And it's all designed to help them make that paradigm shift and to be able to come back into society again. And it's about the 4th month they start realizing it. And what they'll do is they'll come up to me and they'll say, "Hey, you're not training a dog, are you?" And I'm just going to have to smile and chuckle and say, "No, we're not." They finally get what's happening. And when that happens, it's an amazing transition that takes place. And over and over and over, we've helped people and individuals be able to come back into society again. And it's really kind of unique from that standpoint. As I said, we been around since 2016. Actually, really, we started in 2015 with the Military of the Purple Heart. We were located in Denver, down off of Mississippi in Huron. Nobody knew where we were. There was road traffic there, but we didn't have any visibility for people to see us and know who we were and what we were doing. We started a search for a new location because of an incident that actually happened outside our front door that really made me again believe that it wasn't a safe place for us to be anymore. So we started searching, and we ended up our search at 90 Wadsworth Parkway and Church Ranch Road, and we're in that little shopping center there. Actually, we're just south of Lamar's Donuts, which is dangerous for me. I don't need to be there, but it's really a nice place. We have much more open space and a really good learning environment. We just got everything set up so that we could put our first banner out 2 weeks ago, and we've had 4 people walk in off the street because of that.
That's
so
amazing.
Marketing and advertising is important. But one of the things, Jamie, that we've done is, as a nonprofit, you have to seek ways to earn income to continue your program. It cost us right around $5,000 per dog. That includes purchasing the puppy and all the training and the overhead for everything. So that's an expensive thing, but what we want to do is we want to be able to expand our program. So by moving to Westminster, we've opened up, I created 4 different courses, and I'm about ready to open up the 5th course. And these are online courses, but they can be done in the facility as well. But we're extending our programs, our training programs, to the general public. And the way we're doing this is that when we do a class for somebody in the public sector, we ask for a donation. We don't, we just take the chance that they're going to make a donation and we'll provide the services. The key thing is that money, when it comes in, it doesn't line anybody's pocket like it would in a retail store. That money goes actually into the funding of the program. And so we are able to place more puppies with the recipients and those living with PTSD. My goal by putting everything online is to be able to expand the organization outside the state of Colorado. We have a facility down in Colorado Springs, but there's a huge population of individuals, both firefighters, police officers, and veterans that all across the United States are living with this invisible wound. And so we want to give them the ability to come back into society. Our motto is helping to heal wounded souls, one puppy at a time. And there are a lot of wounded souls out there. And, it's something that I treasure. And this is really a labor of love for me to run this. I don't take a salary from the organization. I do everything as a volunteer. And so that money that would be paid for me as an executive or as a trainer goes right stays in the program itself. So very conscious of what money we spend and how we spend it, but we want to be able to reach out to more and more individuals who are living with PTSD. So it's really a great facility. I volunteer anybody come stop by. We're in 9910 Wadsworth Parkway, Unit 200, and I've always got coffee. So you can come in and we can sit and chat, have a cup of coffee. And I have actually a very good coffee roaster who donates the coffee.
That's awesome.
Anybody wants to stop by, just come on in, have a cup of coffee. If we're having a training session, you sit and watch the training sessions. One of the other things that we are doing is that we're hoping to expand to a puppy playtime every Friday at 10. And then also we are hoping to open up a puppy playtime on Sunday afternoon, which will be every other weekend, because on every other weekend I'm in Colorado Springs for doing training down there. But this puppy training would be for individuals that have a puppy under 6 months old, but have their second set of shots. But puppy socialization is extremely important. So it's very helpful for a well-trained puppy to be socialized properly. And so we give a supervised puppy playtime. And all they have to do is come on in, bring the shot records so we can see the puppy shot records, and we'll do the puppy playtime. But as I said, we really want to expand our organization, but we want to help the community as well. One of the things that we have in our program is called Save a Puppy from a Shelter. We have what we call a puppy preschool and a basic canine training course that's online. And the goal is to stop puppies from going into shelters. This is March, and actually this time of the year, about 20% of the puppies that were given as gifts end up in shelters. Mm-hmm. And so my goal is I can't take shelter dogs in our program because they might have PTSD, just like the human, but I can try to help stop the puppy from ever going to the shelter. Mm-hmm. So that's one of our that's part of our program. So basically we're here to help individuals have a better life. And we have some really great programs that we're going to open up very soon that expand out to other individuals, not just those with PTSD. So it's going to be an exciting growth phase. We're excited to be here. I love my facility. It's nice and bright. And Lamar's is right across the parking lot. But no, I don't go there. What can I answer? Any questions from anybody?
We do have several questions. We've had a lot of people join us. So good morning to everybody that has joined us. Thank you for being here. So the first question is, do you focus on specific breeds of puppies that you train for the program?
Thank you, David. That is a good question. Yes, we do. Unfortunately, we can't use rescues because, as I said, rescues can have post-traumatic stress just as well. And we actually did have one puppy in the program that was a rescue. I took a chance, and unfortunately, one night, in the middle of the night, for some reason, it went after its person and attacked them in the face.
Nice.
And that really solidified the reasoning why we can't use a rescue, because you never know what's going to trigger them. We look for very mellow breeds. If you go to our website, which is heropuppyforlife.org, and it's FOR, not the number 4, Hero Puppy for Life, you'll see a picture of Bo, and several of the dogs they're English Golden Retrievers. We like the English Golden Retriever because their temperament is perfect with post-traumatic stress disorder. We can't use dangerous breeds because there are certain breeds that are just not meant to be a service dog. And if they're trained for guard work, which a lot of the dangerous breeds are, that makes it very difficult for our program to be able to use them. Now, I know other programs can use them, but we have a little bit of difficulty based on what our philosophy is for the program. We like pretty much any puppy. Now, if somebody wants to bring a puppy in, they're more than welcome because I will evaluate it. We have trained poodles, and actually I've got my service dog Bo has retired, and so I've got his replacement wanting to get up here in my lap. He's a standard poodle. Poodles are extremely smart, but they're not for anybody that doesn't have a lot of energy. They really require, they have a ton of energy. But yes, we are very cautious about the breeds that we use because the reason why is because they're going to be in public, and we need to make sure that it's not going to cause an issue. So, David, I hope that answers your question. We do evaluate our breeders as well, because the breeders should be doing certain things while the puppy's in the litter. So, yes, we do.
All right. Comment from Brian Head. When I was first starting to network and get engaged in the community, Frank was one of the people who mentored me and helped me get plugged in. Great guy, and this is a great program.
Thank you, Brian. It's good to hear from you, buddy. Yeah, Brian and I go back quite a few years. I was with Liberty Mutual when Brian was with Liberty Mutual. I was a trainer, and actually PTSD is what caused me to retire from Liberty Mutual. So I understand post-traumatic stress disorder. I've been there for a long, long time. My trauma took place in 1969, and I'm 74 years old. So,
yeah. Nina says, we love what you were doing. Welcome to Westminster. We're very excited to support you. I think I showed that one already. And then she also, so Nina is with Rocky Mountain Sports Center. Sorry, Nina, you'll have to put it in chat for me. And they do puppy yoga. So she says we should host a puppy yoga session to raise donations for y'all. So that's very nice to offer.
Well, I would like to do that. Unfortunately, I don't get a lot of puppies all at one time. We just placed 3 weeks ago. We placed two English Labrador retrievers. They're chocolate labs, and we just placed those with veterans. And one's in Colorado Springs, and one is up here in Denver. So it makes it a little bit difficult. I wish we could do that. If I had a breed program where I had the capability of bringing a whole ton of puppies in, trust me, I would be more than loving to do. Oh, you supply puppies. How cool. How cool is that?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So that's
Nina,
a good
we need to talk some more.
Yeah. Well, both of your information is on our website, and also I can connect you for those as well. That would be a fun event, Nina. Thank you.
All right.
We have a couple comments from Melinda. She says her husband is an Army veteran and she would love to help. And so one of her questions is, how do you donate or help? What can people do to help?
You can donate on our website. So there's all donation buttons all over our website, so you can donate there. HeroPuppyForLife.org. What we need more than anything else is I'm looking for people who want to become trainers. I need people that understand canine training. But the other thing that we can use is that we need to train some people to become puppy sitters. Because our program is different than all retail stores and their training programs. The behaviors are trained a lot of the same, but the way we do it is much different. And so when we have a veteran that says, let's say he has to go to a special treatment at the VA hospital, he can't, in a lot of cases, he can't go into surgical areas, can't go into the dental areas. So we always want somebody that we can put a puppy with that knows that the person knows our program and knows the philosophy behind it and how we train and what verbal cues we use and all of those things. So that I'm big on consistency, because we need to be consistent across the board, because actually dogs demand consistency from us. And when they don't see that, that's when we have issues where they become belligerent and destructive as well. So we could, and I welcome anybody that just wants to come in and sit in a training session and help out. And a lot, excuse me, 1 second, I have to cough. I apologize.
That's okay.
There are occasions where, even though Bo is retired, Bo has to come in for training sessions to help me show certain things. And then I have Magnus with me as well. And so during those times when I'm working with a puppy, I need somebody to hold Bo or Magnus during those sessions. So it really helps me be able to educate much better. And Bo loves to get in the scene anyway. I mean, he's 10 years old and he's a good old puppy, but he's, he loves, if I go to another puppy, he's going to go to that puppy's person. So, yeah, any way you can help, we'd appreciate it. I do have, I have a bookmarker, and I don't have it here in front of me, but I do have a bookmarker that we like to put into elementary schools or middle schools. And it's got a picture of a puppy laying on his back with the big old floppy ears. And on it says, "When you read to me, I don't understand a word you're saying, but I love it."
Aww.
And our QR code is on there. And the reason why I do that is because I like to see people read. I like bookmarkers too, by the way. So I have a lot of different bookmarkers that I give. But in this one, there was a study done, children reading programs. And so it was a blind study where they put half the children with an adult and half the children with a puppy. And what happened is that at the end of the study, the children that read to the dog had better reading skills and better reading comprehension. And so they asked the children that had the adults, "How did you like this?" And they said, "We didn't, because every time we made a mistake, the adult would correct us." And puppy's not going to correct you. It's just going to sit there and look at you like this is great. I don't know what you're saying, but it's cool.
Yeah.
So it helps children learn to read. So if any elementary school or any middle school, even high schools, if they'll just call me, I have 250 of those bookmarkers that I'll put in the library for free. So it will help the students and kids in our community as well. So I believe that, even though people give to us, we need to give to others as well. So, more than, and if anybody wants to do something, then that's great. I see Melinda has a question. Do you have fosters for puppies? I need fosters for puppies. There are times that when I get puppies, and unfortunately, see, it's not like I can schedule puppies. They come when the breeders call me and say, "Hey, I'm not going to have a litter on this date." Well, if I don't have a veteran prepared, and by what I mean by prepared is that we put them through what's called our puppy preschool. And what that does is physically and mentally helps them prepare their home for the homecoming of the puppy. We found out very early that if we didn't prepare the individual for the puppy, particularly because of their PTSD, a lot of them could not handle it because where they were at that time with their PTSD. So we have our puppy preschool, and sometimes that puppy comes in an inopportune time. So if we have fosters, what we would do is we would help them come in and learn our program, because as I said, we want to keep that continuity in place so that, that it's consistently all the way across, even with a foster. So yes, we always are looking for fosters.
All right, so a few more comments. Melinda asked if we would pin your website, so that's up here. It'll be in our comments too for anybody that wants to access that. Let's see, we've got, I think Nina's making some suggestions for schools, maybe for the bookmarks. Belle Swan, also a chamber member, Jefferson Academy. And then Brian says, I would be happy to get the bookmarks into Woodrow Wilson Academy. Great.
Get in contact with me, because like I said, we'll put a stack of 250 in any of those libraries. We don't ask for any money. I just think it's important that children learn how to read, and this is a great way for them to learn how to read.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a first grader, so she's learning how to read right now, and it's like one of the coolest things that's ever happened.
I'll get you some bookmarkers too.
Okay, great. Awesome. So maybe you can tell us, what is the process of pairing a puppy with a veteran or with a first responder?
Well, I usually pick out the puppies. The breeders that we work with know what I'm looking for in the temperament of the puppy. I meet with the individuals, so I pretty much can tell where they are in their PTSD. They have to have one thing in particular. They have to have a desire to get better, because if they don't have a desire to get better, this is not going to work. It's just like anything else and any other health issues, even like, alcoholism or anything else. If they're not have a desire to get better, this won't work. So I interview with them, so I get to know them just a little bit. And we want to make sure that we have the right puppy with the right person. If we have time in that process, we will usually, if we can, let the puppy pick out the person. So the breeder will give us the puppies that she thinks or he thinks is the best for service dog work. And then we'll just put the individual right down in the middle of those puppies. And I've come to find out over almost 10 years of doing this now, is that if you let the puppy pick out the person, it's going to be an extremely good match. In fact, Bo picked me out when he was 5 weeks old. And so we try to do that as much as possible. But I look at the individuals, and then I also look at the puppies, and I can pretty much tell who would be a good match for who in that situation. But if we could, we'd let the puppy pick out the person.
Great, thank you. And then Dave wants to know if you need friendly dogs to help socialize.
Oh yeah, we would do that. How? If you could tell me really quickly, how old is your puppy, David?
7 or 8, right, Dave? Is that? I'm sure he's typing.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Yeah, we could do that. We would love it, because it's important that puppies learn how to communicate within their own community as well. Now, Bo, like I said, okay, great. Yeah, an older dog will correct a puppy, and I don't stop Bo when we have puppies in the house, because I know what he's doing. He's teaching them that this is not proper etiquette and not proper behavior in the dog world. Okay. Still acts like a puppy. Yeah. And actually, David, Bo is 10 years old and he's still my puppy. So, yeah, we would be willing to sit down and talk, and absolutely.
And then Melinda wonders if this is just in Colorado, which I think you mentioned it is, but you're working on expanding the program.
Yes, currently we're in Colorado. I've trained individuals down in Pagosa Springs and Durango as well, virtually. I do have a veteran in Wyoming now, our first veteran in Wyoming. And so she's up in Cheyenne. She does her course virtually, and then she comes down once a month so that we can evaluate. Our program is structured in such a way that if I had people in any particular state, we could actually place the program in there because all the modules are set and correct. So it's pretty much a standard kiosk type thing.
She also has a dog, I think, that might be interested in coming to help socialize as well. So.
Oh, great. We would love that. And I'm open. And again, I'm open if you want your puppy just to come down and spend some time. And I'm quite welcome to do that. And remember, I got coffee. So
yeah,
I'm not a coffee drinker, but I have coffee. So yeah.
Great. Well, we are going to have a ribbon cutting for you soon. We haven't quite picked a date, but as soon as we do, that information will be on our website and our Facebook page. And so that'll be a great opportunity for people to come and check out your program and maybe meet some of the dogs and get to meet you face to face as well. So we'll keep people posted on that. We're about wrapped up. Is there anything else that you want to share about your program or yourself?
We have a desire to help people who are hurting. So like I said, we're expanding our program. One of the things that we're looking to expand is a epileptic seizure dog training program and the diabetic alert dog program. Those are much needed for children. So if you want to come down and meet me at the facility, I'm there usually Wednesday through Sunday. And I've love to have you come in and just sit down and chat and meet me, learn about our philosophy, and see that what we're doing, I think is, and I honestly believe is really great, and it's going to have a lasting effect to a lot of people. So
awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the broadcast with me today, and thanks for everybody that joined. This was a popular one. You got a lot of views, and I'm sure a ton of people are going to rewatch this. So thank you again for coming on, and I hope everybody has a great rest of your week.
Thank you.